and welcome to Game Over Here, the video game podcast created by gamers for gamers, with your hosts, Leon,
Dave,
Stagbeat himself,
and special guest this week from Elite Games Elite Apps.
Elitapps.
My bad. Elitapps. I got the name wrong straight away.
That's fine.
Wow.
That's fine.
End of cast.
I know. All right.
Yeah.
Over, yeah.
Oh, okay, I'm ending.
way to piss our guests off.
It's a Hero Panda Bomber out on Android platforms. We've got a lovely chap called Martin. Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
Yo.
I thought you said leak apps to start with. I was like, really? Is that like some sort of vegetable-based gaming company?
The name is Elitapps or Elitapps. I'm not sure how you should pronounce it. It's sort of a wordplay, and it's no real, big meaning behind it. It was just when we were trying to register our, domain and stuff. Most of the good names were already given. So, it's like, did you see the episode on South Park on startups?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, at the beginning, like
find the best name, Pussy Licker, whatever crap.
Angry smashed his balls on the tabletop or something. Like that. That's kind of the situation that we were in when we were trying to name the company or something. And yeah, so Elitapps is kind of the best thing we got. So yeah, there's no real big story behind it. We're not really proud of it.
I think it's the right name.
Yeah,
it's good.
It's fine.
We were trying to get Tiger Strike Hurricane Smashforce.com. Couldn't get it. Game over here. That'll do.
Some bastard already took it.
Them bastards.
Well, it certainly sounds more game-like than our.
But no, it means you're making apps that are elite. They're much better than everyone else's.
Yeah, and we're celebrated by making Bomberman clones. So.
We'll get on to that.
So much for that.
There's a really good episode of The League. It's like based on this. It's like American fantasy football. These friends that do it, but it's become quite a big show now in America. But the really stupid one who like becomes a millionaire on a regular basis because he's like a venture capitalist, but like he just tries crazy stuff. Like he set up a brothel by mistake, and like he wants to set up these like e-greeting cards and like these people that come round and he goes, oh well, I want a cowboy to come round and sing a song to you, and I couldn't find anything, so I just went with Dallas Cowboys, and like they're like, you got DallasCowboys.com? It's like, yeah, it was available, and I just picked it up. And like the owner of the Dallas Cowboys rings him up. It's like, I'm going to offer you a lot of money for this. It's like, I don't know, we might be onto a winner here. It's a good program. I quite like that.
That's golden.
Amazing.
I have to check it out.
It's funny, even if you don't understand American football, it's pretty funny.
That's,
But if you like American football, it's hilarious.
No, it's really shit if you like. Fucking rubbish.
I see.
It's funny, it started really all about the American football side, and now it's vaguely smidgened in, and now and again it's kind of gone past that point.
Well, yeah, it's because, it's a niche market at the end of
Yeah.
the day. Even though, don't get me wrong, obviously it's a massive
Huge market in
America. But
yeah.
like, if they want to take it elsewhere, then they kind of need to broaden it out, really, don't they?
It's on Netflix.
Yeah, no, I have seen it on Netflix, but
fine.
I've just sort of looked at it and gone, nah, I'm alright.
I think, I don't know, it's a lot of weed-based jokes in it. So.
Oh, is it? Oh, I might enjoy it then.
But anyway, tell us about your game, Martin.
So about the game, it's an Android game. It also has an iOS version, but we didn't release it yet because each time we had some flaw in it and it got, cancelled, and each time you have to wait about a week to get it re-reviewed. So we're trying to submit it successfully for almost 2 months. And the last time it was like, this time we have it all perfect. Then the submission date when it should be available on the store was something around 24th or 25th December. So I was like, yeah, we're not going to release it on Christmas Eve. Who's going to download it or review it? So it's not that we're totally incompetent. That we cannot.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, one of the games that we worked on got rejected because of clause 11.1. Except in the terms and conditions, it only goes up to 7.
You gotta love Apple. Just that they won't let you have anything that doesn't work apart from their phones. But anyway, this week I've had 27 iPhones overheated.
Really?
Wow.
Something to do with the software's killing them.
Why do you have so
What's
many iPhones?
I work in phones in a phone
I see.
shop, so I get a lot of like. It's less like our well, I suppose Samsung's up there, but sell a lot of iPhones, and like I've never really seen that many problems. But this was like, yeah, there's something going on here.
Probably all those Angry Bird clones.
So many of them. There are
Yeah,
so many.
Bitcoin's running on a background mining, right?
Yeah. I still don't understand Bitcoins properly.
No.
Like the whole mining stuff and like whatever, and it doesn't really have a value, but it does have a value, and I don't know.
Well, I cannot properly explain, the algorithm behind the mining and stuff, but it has value because, it's a monetary, form, sort of a credits that you can transfer between, countries without having to go through taxes or being able to track it. So, if you want to buy, let's say something illegal abroad, you cannot use your credit card because anyone can, backtrack it to you. But if you're using Bitcoins, you're pretty much, anonymous and you're pretty safe.
That's the thing. I don't really understand. A lot of people seem to have bitcoins. I don't see that many places where you can spend bitcoins.
No, it's only illegal places.
It's mostly depot, but it makes sense.
I see.
Also,
Those
I heard that
illegals.
it went bankrupt. Or was that a vicious
It lost all its
rumour?
value and then it went straight back up because that's the thing. It doesn't have it. It's not like the American economy that's technically meant to be based against gold. It's even though it's not. It doesn't. It just has whatever people will pay for them is sort of what they're worth, and it's a bit. That's what I don't understand. It can fluctuate quite heavily on what its value is.
Yeah, that's why the bankruptcy old Mt. Gox shaking it up a bit. But still the demand is there to have some currency that isn't traceable by the standard system, so the value is rising back again. I mean, if you're trying to mine them, I wouldn't necessarily recommend them. The last time I checked, the algorithms and stuff, I found out that even on, for example, my PC, which is, quite good on performance, I would lose more money on electricity than I would gain in Bitcoins.
Yeah, that's what I've read. The things like it's pretty hard to actually make a profit from mining it, unless you have like, a factory set up sort of thing where you can just siphon your energy. Set up loads of laptops in Starbucks.
Yeah,
That is my new job.
That's what I think one student did in America. He set on the university mainframe some supercomputer they had for some, special purposes, God knows for what. And he ran Bitcoin mining software on it for, months and months. And the university was paying for the bill. So, yeah. It's not so much that you're creating money, just that you're converting, the electricity bill into money that cannot be traced. So, unless you're buying something really illegal, then it's not worth the hassle. You're losing money.
I like to use cash for my illegal transactions. Clean.
Yeah.
£20 notes.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, that's the problem. If somebody's abroad, like if I would want to send something illegal to you right now, how would you send me the money in an envelope?
No, but the thing is that but then obviously you've got then the risk of then that said item, a legal item or something, getting delivered to you in some sense, and you're kind of, you're taking.
You wouldn't get it to your house though, would you?
Well, yeah.
I'll send it to the officers.
Yeah,
I have this image now of dark alleyways, shady men in trench coats like opening up and with laptops go what a
Just
bunch
this coin with the Mario sound coming out of his pocket.
I just love that we've gone on this bit.
They have just two
Yeah, we've
phones.
completely gone off where we were meant to be. So we'll go back. So we got to. It's an Android game and it's coming to iOS.
Oh yeah, sorry about it. I get easily sidetracked.
So do we. That's the whole point of the show.
This is going to be a dangerous podcast, I think.
So feel free to interrupt me if I get sidetracked. It's like you have to keep me on track.
That's okay. Mike's good at interrupting.
I am really good at interrupting. One of these days, I'm gonna have a black eye. But yeah, we have you all played it?
We've
all been playing it.
We've all given it a play. Hero Panda Bomber.
Yeah.
I don't know where.
In case you're lying, we can track you through Google Analytics. So I'll check it after the show if you really played it.
Mike had to show me
any time.
Mike had to show me the little green button.
I broke the game. I was like, what do you mean? And he picked up the shield and He goes, "Oh, you can't use your bombs once you get the shield." I was like, "Click the arrow so you can choose something else." I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, okay."
Oh yeah, I feel silly now.
Billy.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see the luminous green arrow
The
on
big green arrow.
on the green background.
Yeah,
They're
I quite like it.
There are actually, more areas like this that we didn't expect. Like, if you design a game, it's you yourself who, makes up the rules, and you understand it, right? Who could not understand it because you're strongly biased.
Yeah.
And this is not the only occasion where we've seen it. For example, on the level preparation screen, you can buy health, power, and whatnot.
Yeah.
And just recently, I found out that those 3 icons where you can buy extra speed, bombs, and flames, nobody actually uses it because nobody thinks those are buttons.
I did that for the first go, and then I was like, "Hold on, I don't need all that extra power up." But
Yeah, I found it by just randomly hitting the screen with my face.
Yeah, I found out that really rarely people use it because it doesn't look like any other buttons in the game. We don't use this button layout for anything else, so people just think it's drawings or something.
You could fiddle with that, play with it.
Yeah. It's something we would never think of. I mean, this is something we didn't touch for, I don't know, maybe 2 months, and suddenly like, oh crap, that's why nobody's using it. Nobody's understand it.
So what's the name of the game again? I can't even
Oh
remember.
yeah, sorry. The name is Hero Panda Bomber, and yeah, it's a Bomberman clone. It's not very original in this regard, and actually the story behind it is kind of strange because well, we weren't original developing a Bomberman clone. We were just tinkering with the development tools, deciding whether we should use Unity, Unreal Engine, and sort of stuff like that. And we had gone through lots of stages of development. I think at one point it was a first-person shooter, and really, at other point it was, I think, a 3D platformer. I still remember some really old layout where you could jump around between flowers and stuff. Like, what the hell? What we were thinking. And then it became a puzzle game where you were a worm that was crawling, on the surface of a tree. And, the wood was, carved deeply, and it was sort of like a maze. And once we had it, a prototype like this, we were like, well, wait a second, this doesn't make any sense. This is not funny. You're just trying to find sap bubbles and, apples and stuff. Let's give him something to blast shit. And once we did that, it was like, yeah, this is a Bomberman clone.
If in doubt, blow shit up.
Yeah, if it doesn't work, blow it up.
Who doesn't like Bomberman?
Exactly.
Or Kung Fu Panda? That's immediately what I thought of when I started playing it.
So yeah, that's what we were trying to do.
I didn't quite at the first bit. I was like, I don't understand why there's a panda with a bomb, but then I was like, well, I don't really care. Just carry
Things blow up.
It doesn't really make, if you actually think stuff through, like logistics and stuff. Like most games don't make any sense.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It makes sense, from the let's say the development side of view, but doesn't make sense for the player because we don't get to explain it anywhere. For example, we chosen animals because it's neutral. If you would have people dying there and you can see a rib cage split open and blood squirting everywhere, that wouldn't be really that enjoyable, especially for casual players. They would be like, oh my god, I need to hurl now.
Why didn't you make that? That is a genius plan. Mortal Kombat Bomberman. That's what I want to see. Finish him. Bomb on your head. Boom.
Yeah, but that would be problematic because in order to create some gory effects, you would have to create lots of particle effects, and it had to be really detailed. Nobody enjoys blood effects which look silly because they are low res. So there are performance issues, and also who are you going to market it to? I mean, sure, the Hatred had some.
But you never get it released on Apple. They won't go for
No,
that.
probably not.
Yeah, that's the problem. So we have to make it accessible. So we had to make some compromise. And actually, why we chosen Panda was, I think it was at first it was just a coincidence. Like, why the hell not? And then we were, thinking that since the mobile market is booming in Asia, hey, well, why not go for Panda? Try to suck up to Chinese guys.
Big up their national hero.
Try and
And
suck off Chinese guys.
suck up.
Suck up.
Suck up.
That'll get you some games sold too. Give him some karaoke and some sucking and stuff, and you got the whole of Asia on lock.
Yeah, just turn on the vibration functions.
Yes, exactly.
awesome. Or if in doubt,
Perfect
just
for kids, surely.
make their national treasure hero and kill off some endangered creatures. Perfect.
Actually, this was a quite problem that we were facing when we were deciding what the enemy should be like. You know, at the moment you're fighting tigers, boars, spiders, and whatnot. But when we were trying to decide what actually should you kill, and we were like, all right, we don't want to offend anybody in those countries because, you know, if we would offend just the 1% of Chinese population, then it's 100 million people or
Yeah,
something.
it's quite a few.
So let's not risk it. Let's play it safe.
Just kill tigers. They're not endangered.
Well,
Everyone hates
Just
tigers.
go for them.
let me get to that. I was like, maybe we shouldn't kill tigers. Maybe we should kill something else. So I did some rather extensive research on what is not sacred in China, and I found out that absolutely everything is sacred. I mean, even cockroaches and spiders and all small stupid flies, anything is fucking sacred.
Wow.
And also, everything is fucking eaten.
Stag beetles.
I was like, what the hell? If you love it so much, why are you killing it and eating it? It's like, yeah, that's why we love it so much. All the animals except panda, actually.
They do eat a lot of stuff over there.
Yeah.
Oh, there's probably a black market for panda penis or something like that. They love a bit of the crazy stuff.
I don't think so, really.
Rhino horn.
I don't think there is actually a black market for pandas or anything. I didn't found even any meals from it. So it seems like they just ignore the pandas because they live in remote areas. Then nobody bothers to climb there. Probably they taste awful. So
Yeah.
I
Can't
remember
cook it.
when my friend came back from Asia and he brought back 3 penis wine. And I can't remember what they are, but it's pretty much wine distilled and made with penises, effectively.
yeah, it tastes like cock.
And it didn't taste that bad. I tried it. I was like, that's alright. But then, afterwards, he goes, "Oh yeah, it's like a really strong aphrodisiac." And I was like,
See,
"It's 4 guys hanging out
I mean,
playing poker. This is
Mike-
not the time."
Mike loves a bit of cock.
Who doesn't? Who doesn't?
Yeah, I can imagine
So
this tastes familiar.
I'm getting penis. No, it didn't taste like any. It just tasted like. It tasted like rice wine is the best way to put it. But after trying it, he explained what it was. I was like, okay, cool, thanks.
Yeah,
And then he was like, yeah, it's a really strong aphrodisiac. I was like, cool, brilliant. There's not any ladies here. This is not a great idea. Didn't do anything, in all honesty. It's all a load of rubbish, isn't it?
Yeah.
Most of that kind of herbal, whatever, malarkey. I remember when I went to, the Chinese doctor sort of thing. And I was I was suffering from my neck pain and stuff. And he was like, oh, we're going to do acupuncture and stuff. And I was like, all right, cool. So I tried it. And I was like, I didn't really feel anything. She goes, oh, no, you've got to do about 20 sessions. And I was like, 20 sessions? These are like £50 a pop. I'd rather just go and get a massage done. That helps. She goes, oh, no, but you also need to take these, special, herbal sort of, remedies and stuff. And I was like, okay, cool. And then she pulls out, packets of pills, like it's a prescription thing. She's like, this one's 15, this one's 35. And I was like, no, what the fuck? This is really expensive. I was not expecting it. So I was just like, okay, cool. I'll try that one. Bought one of the cheap ones. Tried it for a week, 2 weeks. I was like, yeah, this is doing nothing. This is scrambled up dandelions or something in a pill form.
It's all about that.
It is all about that. Bitcoins.
You could probably get the same effect by rolling on tin tacks.
Tin tacks.
Yeah, the little metal things that hold up posters. Tin tacks.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean.
I thought you meant Tic Tacs.
Yeah,
I
roll
also-
around on some crushed up mints. Oh, I'm feeling it now. Oh, it's so good. And I'm so minty.
Well, whatever placebo effect works, right?
Yep. Definitely.
Actually, about the placebo, sorry for sidetracking again, but
Don't worry, we do.
I think we've gone well past that.
about the placebo, today, if you want to introduce a new pill or some remedy for something, you have to test it against the placebo to see if it actually works. If it's just not people thinking that they are getting cured, in fact they're just thinking they are getting cured. And what is happening recently, that the effectiveness of the placebo is increasing over the years. because people are in the habit that if they go to doctor and they get something prescribed, they usually feel better. So, and what is happening that some cures that were considered working are these days on the edge of falling out against the placebos.
Wow.
The placebos are starting to be more effective than some known cures. So,
That's crazy.
It's completely, a lot of it is just mind. But the thing is, like, my friend did one of those trials, and he was on the placebos, but he didn't know, obviously, at the time. And he swore, like, he was like, because it was like a tooth pain sort of thing. It was to do with wisdom teeth and stuff. And he was like, no, started taking them, didn't feel anything. And then as soon as they told me, I was like, you bastards, it's come back. And he kind of like, he was just like, they could have just lied to me and I would have been fine for the rest of my life.
Wow.
And it's just the power of your mind over, numbing everything out.
See, that's why I get a headache. I just sit in a corner going,
Yeah, there's a risk if something would happen to you, and you could sue them because you think you were cured. So this way, they're clean. You cannot sue them for anything because they told you they did nothing to you. So all the side effects are on you.
I find mainly 3 penis wine is my best cure for most stuff. Like, without I can't start my morning
I can't
without
believe
that.
that even exists.
I'm sure there's. What about 4 penis wine?
I was about to say,
shit.
That is strong stuff.
I think John LaJoie had a sketch on this. He was making 3 penis wines, and it was like, yeah, it sure tastes great. Like, oh god, tastes like cock. try to look it up on YouTube later. It's hilarious. I recommend it.
But anyway, Martin, man.
Oh, yes, sorry.
How many people are in your team? Is it you on your own, or you got some other people with you?
We got several people, but I think they're at home now. Yeah, they should be. Because tomorrow's national holiday, so none of them bothered to go to work. They just took a day off and they have a prolonged weekend, so that's fine.
Yeah, fair enough.
And I came in because I cannot podcast at home because I don't have that much privacy there. So stuck at the office.
As opposed to the security cameras watching you right now.
Yeah, shit.
So we're gonna kick off in a second. It's gonna get dark, and then all the light beams will come across. And I can't move for 12 hours.
That actually happened a few times. It was like, if you enter into the office building, you have a security code, so that you're not a burglar. Yeah. And the first guy that comes into the office has to disable it, and the last guy who leaves has to enable it. And on few occasions, it even happened to me that I didn't know that I was the first guy. I was just came in the office, casually, like not giving a shit, and I was like, everything went beeping. And I was like, shit, I don't know the code by memory. I have to look it up my phone. And you have like 30 seconds until the security guys come in and start asking, like unpleasant questions, like, what the hell are you doing? So like
shooting you with tasers.
It just looks like he's furiously masturbating at that point. If I'm going down, I'm going down. Going down in a blaze of glory. They're gonna catch me.
Yeah, I'm going down without a fight.
God damn that 3 penis wine!
I was about to say that happened to me this morning, but
I hate it when because I have to lock up. But like, if the alarm, because I'm one of the key holders, if the alarm goes off, I have to go down to town to sort it out. But like, if the alarm won't set, I have to stay there until one of the 3 people key holders has to stay there until the security people can come. So last time, they were like, yeah, cool. There's someone that's in. It was somewhere close. Yeah. Half an hour, 45 minutes. I was like, that's fine. I'll do some stuff. Got my tablet here. I'll mess about. Started watching stuff, and I was like, it's 2.5 hours later. Where are these fuckers?
Damn.
They turned up. We closed. I tried to close the door. Set the alarms at about 7 o'clock. Yeah. I didn't get out until 3 o'clock in the morning.
What?
I did get paid for it, luckily, because at the time I was on hourly rather than salary. But if it were my manager or someone, you just have to sit there for you're not getting paid. You're just gonna have to sit there.
What was their excuse?
They're just shit.
That's a good excuse.
They're really shit. No, they're not that shit. But they're giving us this thing as well. The thing that makes me laugh is this the security stuff. Yeah, so we got a lot of security stuff, but we have these things that look like little walkie-talkies, with two little things on.
Yeah.
Everyone comes in and goes, "Oh, what's this? Like, do I press it?" Loads of people turn up. I go, no, even better. What happens? Yeah, you press those two buttons, and the PA about 15 seconds later, somebody live monitors the store. So what does that do? Oh, it's a deterrent. Okay, that's great. Apart from our music is so loud that you can't hear a thing, so you just hear this come over the speakers, and everyone looks at themselves and carries on stealing whatever they're trying to steal or whatever it is.
Well,
Awesome.
I think that sounds reasonable. I mean, if I would hear a security guy beatboxing while I'm stealing shit, I would, I would be really scared.
We're quite lucky. I mean, to be honest, for us, we're lucky because we're in a shopping centre, so we have their security as well, so it's quite good for that. But they're stupid as well sometimes. They called me. I just left, and it was about 15 minutes after I'd left. I hadn't got picked up yet. And they called me, and they were like, "Oh, we just tried to." They always check the back doors and stuff. We just tried to open your back door, and it's still unlocked, and no one's there, and the alarm started going off. And I was like, "Oh, for fuck's sake! I know I'm going to be here all night now." So I start walking back, and I get to my front door, and I'm like, "There's nothing's going on in here, or whatever." I've got a missed call again from them. Okay. They ring back, and I'm go in. I've unlocked everything. I'm like, "What's going on?" They're like, "Oh, sorry, it was cargo." I was like, "What do you mean it was cargo?" And they're like, "Oh, it was a different shop." I was like, "You know where cargo is compared to where my store is?
Yeah.
Nowhere near each other." Now I can only assume they have an alphabetical list of the numbers, and they just called me by mistake. But I was just like, "You."
Or
assholes.
they were just going, he's standing there waiting for something. Let's troll him.
They might. They could have done. They could have done.
He looks bored. Let's give him something to do.
I actually prefer their excuse before, that the guys were shit. Because that's a perfect excuse, if somebody, if you mess up and somebody angrily, comes looking to you and trying to force you to take responsibility, you just say, "I'm shit." And he's like, "Yeah, I cannot argue with that."
Yeah, only works so long though.
We've got a new starter that's doing pretty much that at the moment. Like, he told me this. I've worked here 3 days. Don't know what I'm talking about. Just don't know. And like, they look at him like, "I'm going to kill you." I'm like, "I've got to fucking sort this problem now."
Oh man.
Yeah, because that soon turns into, "I'm shit." Yep, you're fine.
Yeah, I'm shit. Can't argue with that, Just... so sorry. Maybe we should get back to the game.
I think we should. Because I think, to be fair, I'm pretty much throwing out everything else I've got today. I think we're just going to leave it with this.
Much more fun.
If we could keep progressing at this pace, it's going to take quite a while. So
Exactly. So,
Did you have any problems with the fact it was a panda or anything like that? Did you have to do any like sort of, because isn't that who's the big environmental agency, whatever?
oh, like Peter kind of thing.
Peter and the other one.
But WWE.
WWF.
WWF. Oh,
Like
they're doing a charity thing for that.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Go
Well,
talk about that.
if we
Tap
if we
that up.
if we would get targeted by PETA, we're pretty much screwed. But then again, they are trolls who can target anything. Our only luck is that we're not big enough to be interesting to them, because they usually target something that is really big, because then they can look like, the heroes who are fighting against the Goliath and stuff.
That's right. Yeah.
Since, we're just a 4-man team and, we're pretty much shit at what we do. It's not, that heroic to take us down. So, but if we would be EA and we would kill pandas, PETA would get all over our asses. So, our only defense is that we're too shit to be targeted by them.
I'm shit.
Sorry. I'm shit. Sorry. I'm shit. And they were like,
this is not worth our time at all.
yeah.
I always find it funny, like like in the town we're in, there's like every week there's a new charity thing pops up there for that week to hand out their flyers and whatever.
God, yes.
And so on. And like, I've got to the point where like they'll always stop me and I go no, but then like I got to the point where I wanted to explain why I don't do it to them. And like some of them try and sell it to me, and I'm a salesman, so I'm like, yeah, okay, try and sell it to me, sort of thing. But the WWF one was the funniest one I've ever had, because I stopped, and she goes, "Oh well, it's," and I just went, "How much is it, and how often?" And she goes, oh, well, it's £2 a week. And I was like, okay, cool. So that's about the average for all of them. She goes, yeah, it's just one thing. And I was like, yeah, but you don't understand. I have a new one of these that turns up every week in my shopping centre. And she goes, okay. And I was like, so if I do every single one of them, that becomes 52 times £2 a week. So that's £104 a week I need to give out. And she goes, but you could just do ours. And I was like, well, what makes yours so special? And she starts going over this. And I just literally stopped her and I went, do you know what? I used to love wrestling. You took their name back off them. I don't want any of this business, and walked off. Her face was just like priceless.
I see.
Genius.
Awesome.
I had a similar episode recently. You see, I don't really, try to help people when they stop, and beg for money because, it's for me a thing of principle because I am opposed to giving money to people who just ask for it. I think you should deserve it. You should at least work for it or try for it. You can't just say, give me money. And I was like, yep, here you go. So,
Damn it, I've been doing it wrong.
Isn't that your job, Dave?
Maybe.
So I'm usually opposed to, giving money just because people ask for it. But when I'm out with my girlfriend, I'm usually in a very good mood. So I'm quite vulnerable there. And recently I was in a shopping center looking for, I don't know, skiing gloves or some shit like that. And a girl came to me with the notice board, A4 paper with, it looked like a petition. So I'm like, yep. Okay, I will help you. And it was like, for deaf people, okay, a petition. I guess they have some good, law they want to pass through or something. So I fill up the information, my signature and stuff. And then I get to the last one. I was like, how much cash do you want to give us? I was like, this is paid? Like, sorry, I don't want to give you anything. I was like, yeah, I understand that you are supposed to be, deaf and mute and stuff, but this can be easily, duped by anybody. You just, if you're just gonna come to people and just wave with a paper and ask for their personal information and cash up front, that's kind of shady. So I was like, sorry, I won't give you anything. And I was kind of weak, so I said I had no cash.
I'm shit.
I had, but
The classic line. No cash. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry, no cash.
You got a spare cigarette? Last one. Sorry, mate.
She was still like something like, please, and I was like, sorry, no cash, sorry. And she just took off, and I was like, what the fuck? She just took off with my personal information and my signature.
She's like, right, you're not going to give me cash? Fine, I'll hack you. I'm going to your bank now.
Yeah, I was like, shit, maybe I said maybe 10 or 20 pounds or something, but she can use my personal information and my signature and stuff, and I'm
fucked. Damn.
Yeah.
Screwed. You're saying about the last cigarette thing. I've done it where people come up to me asking for a cigarette, and I said, I'm sorry, I don't smoke, while smoking. That one really puts them in a good mood.
I had a similar episode. I don't smoke either, but I had a luck of finding, unemptied, unfinished cigarette, packs. I just, I usually took it when I was younger because why not? Shit. I don't smoke, but it's free. And when somebody was like, do you have a cigarette? Well, yes, I do. Here, have one. I was like, maybe the previous guy who owned it had a herpes, or I don't know. But what do I care? They just want a cigarette.
Share the love.
Awesome.
Sharing is caring.
Yeah, sure. I mean, they just want a cigarette. Maybe that's a bonus. I don't know.
The thing that I dislike is because I don't mind, I don't give money to anyone just that begs for it or whatever. But I always had this thing of if someone's doing busking or whatever, maybe until. Did you see the Wickham busking phenomena that happened?
Yes.
Yeah.
Of we got these guys that pretty much one got a guitar, one got a recorder, one got a flute, and one got a bucket. And they pretty much formed a band through the high street of just shit music. That it wasn't music, was it?
No.
Just sound. They didn't know how to play any of it. Bang, 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 give me money. And I swear, one of these days, I'm going to destroy them. That is my goal in life.
I haven't
now.
seen them for a while, though.
No.
The guy with the guitar was always about. I saw him on New Year's Eve, I think. But
that's actually a good business model. They should have, pricing we will shut up for 20 minutes for £5.
Could work.
Yeah, they because it's perpetual. They can do it endlessly. And
I just got this idea of this guy just targeting you and just going, "You got to give me £1 to go away. I'm not giving you £1. I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you." You probably would get punched in the face quite a few times throughout the day.
But you may get some money out of it.
Could do.
yeah, maybe
I don't like it when they ask if I've got spare change. I'm like, it's not spare.
There used to be one guy a few years back in Wickham, probably doesn't exist anymore, but every time I was walking through town, he'd come up to me and he's like, I need some money. I need to get home to get the bus.
Always the bus or the train, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's like, wait, I've been coming back this way about 5 times in a row, and this is the 5th time you've come to me. How have you not got the bus? Or if you do get the bus, surely first time you realise you haven't got enough money, then make sure you have enough for the next times you do it.
Because unfortunately, heroin is quite Moorish.
But it just always amused me.
Anyway.
Let's get on some games.
Back to
Well,
the
yeah,
game. Speaking of games,
back to
what
the
do you
games.
play?
What games have you been playing, my man?
Recently, not that many because I was busy developing our game and looking for other development opportunities and stuff. Like for example, yesterday or today, depends on what time zone you're speaking. There was the CES, in Las Vegas, Nevada, and so I prefer to just kick off and play on Steam my never played library of games and stuff. But I had to monitor what is where introduced and where can we back for some development kits that we can use and stuff. And actually, it was quite successful. You see, we worked on Panda with NVIDIA, which was really great for us, when we still can't believe it. And they promised us that the new chip, which they announced, the X1, they will send us a dev kit. Like, fuck yes, fuck yes.
Amazing. That is
Awesome.
Yeah. But I can see.
So I was just picking his nose.
Yeah. I thought you were showing him the fucker.
It's a little bogey I was sorting out.
Oh, sorry. I didn't see which finger it was.
You should see what they get up to.
I
when
used
the
that
ca-
one too.
Yeah.
That's good. What? So they're sending one out for you then?
Yeah, but unfortunately not at the moment because they don't have them yet. They just have the chips, but they don't have the dev kit and stuff.
Yeah.
Also about the NVIDIA experience, that was kind of interesting. Sorry, I'll get to the what am I playing question just in a moment. But this was kind of funny because when we were about to launch the game, we, didn't have that much experience with earning huge wads of cash from your games. But we had pretty realistic expectation that if you launch a game and you're not a well-known brand or you don't have huge hype for it, nobody actually cares. Even if the game is free, even if it's nice, nobody cares. The market is oversaturated. So yeah, we can do the usual, like spam these social channels, spam some forums, but that really doesn't help anymore. You get banned too easily, too fast, and people just don't click on it. It's not like, I don't know, in 1999 where you just send a spam, like click on this, and we were like, yep, I'm clicking on it. It's like, everybody was like, I don't like your shady practices. Please go away from my forum now. I was like, yep, not really that successful. And so we were looking to hardware manufacturers and stuff, how to push the game. And even that is not as easy as it used to be, because back in the old days, you could maybe get OEM, pre-installed on devices. But even that doesn't happen now because people hated the bloatware for decades. So the manufacturers decided to, put stock Android and stock operating systems everywhere. So even if your game is extremely good, you probably won't get pre-installed because that practice isn't done. So it's extremely difficult to launch anything. And by a coincidence, we arrived at the NVIDIA and their shields. Well, it looks crap. It's black, so it's a tablet. It's a shield tablet. Am I?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not
Nice.
sure. I see it mirrored, so I'm not sure if I'm holding a.
No, you were
You're good.
Excellent.
Okay. And it was just for my personal use because I had to work on the go and stuff. And as I was playing with it, I realized that since they even have a controller paired with it, which is quite nice, it's like the Xbox controller, and we're like, our game is Bomberman. It is on a grid, and their accurate and tactile controls would be really beneficial to the players. And sure, we knew that you could use some third-party, controllers, like for example, Moga or Steel Series or Nyko and stuff.
Yeah.
And surely those are great. products, or some of them are, but we really had no idea how many of them are there out there. And it's
that's the thing. I don't know how much those kind of accessories sell, because like, especially if you're talking mobile market and stuff.
Yep.
Well, we don't sell them, and our PC World and stuff don't sell them, and most major chains of like the high street. We get people come in and they say, "Where can I get one?" I'm like, I don't know, internet, Amazon, I don't know. But there's not like a huge in-store market for it. But I think there would be. Like, I think it's a shame actually that a lot of the time we don't have, like, especially where I work, we're probably the biggest UK retailer of phones, and a lot of the time people, it wouldn't sell with every single phone, but you definitely get people that purchase devices. And one of the things that pisses me off, especially like just doing your game, is I hate mobile control because your thumb moves out of the place. So like, I know there's a Samsung kit that I can just put on the top of my, I can put my phone into, but I don't know where I can get it from, sort of thing, without ordering one. And I just, every time I look at it, I'm like, I want to try it first, sort of thing. And I think that's a real shame, because I think the mobile market has really, it's boomed massively. You only have to see how many fucking Supercell like adverts there are at the moment. Bomber, what is it, Beach Bomber, whatever the crap it is, and they've got Clash of Clans, and then the other one, Boom Beach, or whatever. Yeah. Oh my god! Everything I was going on last night, like every single one would come up with some kind of advert towards it. I know they make a lot of money.
I'm still getting Candy Crush Saga adverts.
Yeah, well, that made a lot of money as well, and that's the thing. It's this sort of. I think there's definitely a different market now.
I think what it is because the gaming market is getting so big now, and because we're now starting to see these peripherals coming in. I think it's just going to be a matter of time before they are going to start getting sold more.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure about it, because you see, originally when the gaming market was young, let's say like 5 years ago or younger, when people were just starting to catch up on the mobile trend. Let's say when Angry Birds were starting getting big, there was the split where there was a part of developers which had existing games, but they weren't designed for touchscreen. Like, for example, the PS1 classics like Crash Bandicoot or Siphon Filter. Actually, those games are still available on the Google Play Store. Yeah. But those controlled really terribly.
Grand Theft Auto. Jesus Christ, that's hard.
Yeah. And there was a problem that these were nice games, but they were essentially unplayable. And if you wanted to have a gamepad, you had no option there, because it wasn't, software supported. Sure, the manufacturers can, print out, some 3D stuff and the gamepad, but it will just not pair with the device. So it didn't have support on the Google or Apple side. So what happened was that the manufacturers who were actually able to, developers who were actually able to leverage the touchscreen, like for example, Rovio with their Angry Birds, just flinging stuff, got really big. Yeah. And, the market adjusted to it. And in the recent years, the gamepad development caught up to it. For example, Apple introduced in iOS 7 the framework for controllers. One unified framework. If you want to have a gamepad support, use this one, which was actually meant to be really big, because everybody was like, "Fuck yes, this is the shit."
Yeah, about bloody time.
But the problem was that when they announced it, not even the manufacturers know about it, so they had no physical hardware to showcase it on. All these companies like SteelSeries and stuff didn't know about it either. So when they announced like we support controllers now, and I was like, yeah,
there
sure.
are none. Shit.
Yeah. Nobody knew about it, and it took again 1 or 2 years to catch up. And for example, in iOS 8, it's perfectly supported, but nobody really gives a shit anymore. I mean, it's been 5, 6, 7 years with touchscrreen, and people just got used to it. So today it's much easier to support the physical controllers, and they are readily available. Through Amazon mostly, but they are much more accessible than 5, 6 years ago. But people just got used to live without them.
I think it's a shame Sony haven't caught on much, because Sony, your PlayStation controller is compatible with all the Z2 onwards and stuff like that, and the tablets.
They tried actually. They had their own mobile initiative, the PlayStation Mobile thing, and they had even the PlayStation Phone. Like, for example, I have one, and it even had the physical controls.
Yeah. They had that.
Wow.
I mean, I remember that phone being it wasn't that big, but the thing is, like now the Z3 and the Z3 Compact, they're compatible for PlayStation 4. You can play it from your device, sort of thing, and you can pair the controller. But they don't fucking talk about it. Like if Sony have got like really good screens and all this kind of stuff on their phones, I would 100% be like, we're selling quite a lot of PS4s. Let's make a really big deal about the fact that you want to play it in another room, you can just start playing on your phone in another room. But they don't. They talk about it. They don't really shout about it, if you know what I mean.
That's the problem, because I think they burned themselves on the PlayStation Phone, the Xperia Play, because that was sort of hype. It wasn't exactly hype. I mean, it was more of as far as I know, it more of an Ericsson initiative than Sony.
It was more Sony Ericsson side.
So it didn't really get that strong support from Sony, but it got some support from Ericsson, and they still spent quite a chunk of cash on it. I've seen some of the marketing campaigns when they were launching it, and they really had to throw in some chunk of change on it, and it failed spectacularly. Nobody really bought the phone. And if you go to mobile gaming and you invest into creating a separate app store, creating a controller framework, and even the physical device, and then nobody actually buys it, you get really careful when trying to do it next time. So,
well, that's the thing. They don't need that, because they have, like, it's literally, you compare your PlayStation 4, it's there. It's already there, and you can use your PS4 controller. It's there. It's all there. They've done everything. They just have not told anyone about it. Like, half the people I speak to about it, I go, "Have you got a PS4?" when I'm talking about phones. I go, "Yeah," and I was like, "Would you like to play it in another room?" Well, yeah, that'd be cool. You take your PS4 controller, and if you had a Sony Z tablet or a Sony Z3 phone and above, it just pairs, and you can just run your PS4 from that device. And they're like, "Really?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that no one knows about it," sort of thing. So it's a shame, because it's actually like, you do it on your Vita, and it's fucking good. But like, no one really has bought into it, because it's not really been sort of put out there. They do the little, it's all share play and like for the people in the know sort of thing. But if they made a big advertising campaign, like for people that came into my shop specifically to say, "Did you know it does this?" Like on their thing, it can connect to your PS4. They'd be like, "Does it? Can you show me how that works?" And literally, they'd sell double the amount, I'd say.
Well, that's the problem. They already did, make a big advertisement campaign for mobile gaming, and it went to shit. So they're, very careful about doing it again. So
I suppose. But we have a very important question for you. Probably the most important question. What is the best thing you ate in the last 7 days?
Hard to tell. I think some of the traditional Christmas meals or something. I think some mayo salad, something. I'm not sure how it's, said in English, but it contains, ham and, veggies and peas and stuff, and it's all mixed together, and it's kind of nice. I like it.
Sounds tasty.
Like a, not toad in the hole. What is it? It's like your leftovers sort of thing.
Bubble and squeak.
Bubble and squeak.
Yeah.
That's what we call it over here. Is it like, it's always, in this country, it's always been like, if you had like your leftovers and like all the Christmas vegetables and all this stuff, you'd put all of your meat in there, and you make kind of like it's like a hot pot almost, but it's a bit weird. But we're a bit weird over here. We eat strange shit.
I see.
But it's still tasty.
I guess you can make it from leftovers, but especially if it's a Christmas meal, it would be considered kind of rude, I guess. Yeah. So you do it from.
That's what I mean. Like, it's similar in that way. Like we do it as a thing for
We're
that.
probably missing the whole point of what you actually had. But,
or whatever it was tasty. And
and I ate it with a fried fish, I think. So that was kind of nice.
Oh, nice, man. Well, I mean, Martin, it's been a pleasure having you on the show, man. We're going to have to wrap up soon, unfortunately.
I see, sorry.
But, I mean, where can we find all your stuff, man?
So you can find us, or me, or my crew, on Twitter at Elitapps. That's the URL, Twitter/Elitapps.
Yeah.
Or on Facebook under, Facebook.com/Hero Panda Game. or you can find us on Google Plus, but we don't really use it that much. But you can still find us there.
Nobody does.
we don't really use it either.
So yeah, but we have it. So
Yeah, we have it as well.
it's googleplus.com/plus Elitapps without a .com, just Elitapps.com. And if for some strange reason you would be interesting to add me as your personal friend and bestie for the rest of your life, you can find me on Twitter on, the twitter.com/Martin Herco, I guess is the closest thing you can spell it in English without, spaces or anything.
We'll put it up on the screen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Try and edit that now.
Oh, you bastard.
Yeah, 3D effects, please.
Oh, fuck. 3D effects? What's that?
Get the Unity engine going.
You should
They could develop it for you if you really want.
you should go real 80s with like.
Thanks.
This week you
That'll
kicked
be-
the camera.
That'll be fine.
Yeah, so you go real 80s, right? Screen wipes and like flash frames and all sorts of awesome things.
We still need to do that 80s montage.
Yes, we do.
It's coming.
Okay, glad to hear it.
Anyways, well, no, thank you once again for joining us, and
Sure.
we better wrap up here. So if you'd like to take part in our conversation, you can leave a post on our Facebook wall at facebook.com/GameOverYear.
You can tweet us at GoVia.
If you want to contact me or the guys, it's contact us at gameoveryear.net.
And obviously the most important place, our website, gameoveryear.net. Thank you for joining us.
Thank
And
you.
until
Download
next
our game,
time-
please. Download our game.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hero Panda, Google
Hero
Play,
Panda.
Google Play.
Yeah, please. We can track it. So if you didn't download it, we can tell. So
Illuminati are back!
yes.
Go blow up some tigers.
Anyway, thank you for joining us, and until next time,
Game over, yeah.